Il son les meilleurs. Si c'était baston. These are the champions. Devastor. Devastor. Les grandes équipes. The champions.
WTF! WTF!
Little bunny Todd running through the forest, watching Clash of Champions and getting all of the predictions absolutely 100% correct. That's right, we're here for the Clash of Champions WTF Moments over a week after the show took place because reasons. Let's just start them. Welcome to a night where champions are featured. Champions are the focus, said Jonathan Coachman. Isn't that every single WWE pay-per-view ever? But then we did learn that David Otunga is a former two-time WWE Tag Team Champion. And despite the fact this took place so long ago, your mind has repressed this horrible memory deep in your subconscious. This show is called WTF Moments, and when Otunga said this at the start of the Kickoff show, it had me saying WTF. I don't know about you, so it's in AJ Styles Kickoff show, and you can only imagine that Vince McMahon must be going blind. And when he saw that match graphic there, he said to himself, "Damn it, that's Cedric Alexander. That is a similarly small man. Neither is big nor sweaty. It's Drew Gulak. It's Southern Drew Gulak. Kickoff show they go. Get them jerking the curtain like Mia Khalifa used to do." Is something I've got written down there, and we're going with it. And during the Clash of Champions 2019 Kickoff show, we learned that Jonathan Coachman is no better than Norris off of the Coronation Street, because just like Norris on the Coronation Street, Jonathan Coachman gets a massive spoon. He gets a massive lump of the sugar, honey, ice and tea, and he stirs it. He stirs it real good. And I say this because Coach was sat there speaking about the Rowan and Roman matchup, and for no good reason whatsoever, he said, "We've got to keep her out for Daniel Bryan." Why, Coach? What on earth have you seen on SmackDown Live that would lead you to believe that Daniel Bryan would have been anywhere near that match at the Clash of Champions a long time ago? Everything on the air to that point when Jonathan Coachman said that on the Kickoff show, and since, as we're stood here 8 days after the show took place, has said that Daniel Bryan's got nothing to do with that thing whatsoever. And I don't know about you, I like to take people at face value, even if they are evil, for liking to eat, not meat, and wanting to save the planet. Hang on a second there. Next up we have Charisma Dave sat there on the Kickoff show saying he respects Rowan for trying to step out of the evil, small, plankton-like shadow cast by an evil plankton like Daniel Bryan, but he doesn't agree with his means. Even though Charisma Dave was part of an evil pack of wolves called the Nexus, who tried to murder poor old Justin Roberts right in front of our eyes on an episode of Raw. I'm sure there's more examples of the Nexus doing murderous things, but I can't be asked to think of them right now. But Dave, that was quite hypocritical of you. Easy for me to say.
Tea time.
And here's a direct quote from Booker T, who said, "You got to come up sometime by any means necessary. And if that means at somebody else's expense, that's what it's got to be." Booker T there, condoning attempted murder. Twice. And the best thing about that thing there is that it's not the worst thing Booker T has ever said on a professional wrestling show. Go back and watch that there promo from TNA where he speaks about a man looking like a chicken and cooking like a chicken, therefore he must be a chicken. And next up we have Dio Madden, and I'm going to read this out just to make sure I get it correct. He claimed that the Lucha history and the Lucha bloodline will see some tandem offense from Humberto and Lince Dorado. And I don't know about you might have already known this massive slice of information, but I learned from Dio right then that every single luchador ever is related. The Lucha bloodline goes on for days, fam. Shoulders up, your shoulders up, man. You've got to be kidding me, Mr. Referee. Let me get my shoulders in a perfect position. Hang on, do cats even have shoulders? Yep, the end of that Cruiserweight match was a massive shame, wasn't it? Rest in peace, the House of the Purple Men. Maybe. I still don't know what the future actually is for that show. Do you? Please tell me, I want to know.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Just Just because big baldy bastard Baron Corbin doesn't dress like that so much these days, Corey Graves, that doesn't mean you have to do so. I don't know what you're saying, but I know fashion. I'm an overweight fan of professional wrestling, and I wear wrestling t-shirts every single day of the week, twice on Sundays. So I know what I'm talking about. Now, just in case you were taken aback when Michael Cole said this, I need to confirm to you right now that Michael Cole did in fact say that Cedric Alexander refers to himself as the Ebony Lion. And I'm really happy that Michael Cole clarified that, because a lot of people tweeted me saying that Michael Cole said that off his own back, and if he did, that would have been a bit wrong, wouldn't it? But judging by the way that United States Championship match went, we have to presume that Cedric is a really cowardly Ebony Lion. Just like the one off The Wizard of Oz, because that match was so one-sided, I didn't see it coming, you didn't see it coming. Whose chips did Cedric piss in? Someone be getting fired because you cannot show name redacted in such a prominent role live on the WWE Network mere seconds before a huge WWE pay-per-view spectacular takes to the airwaves. And as we all know by now, WWE thinks us fans are really stupid because the way they tell their stories, they think that we forget things 5 minutes after they actually happened. Well, we remember name redacted. Right there, so there. Your own fault. Maggle. And yes, we have to kick off the main show, WTF Moments, with the moment where Michael Cole chirped up and said the Clash of Champions is the only night of the year where the titles are on the line. All of the titles are on the line. There's a bottle of white spirit on the floor down here. He's weird, isn't he, Michael Cole, with this once per year thing for things that definitely happen more than once per year. It's a great job that Survivor Series is not around the corner. Oh, surely for the love of all that's holy, he cannot be saying this year, of all years, with the wildcard rule, it's the only night of the year where the SmackDown superstars and Raw superstars go head to head in competition. Because I don't know if you've been watching, but that's been happening for quite a while now. As it does every pissing year, Michael. Way Langston has Cultaholic written on his arm. Tim Telix with another sign. There was a Jack the Jobber sign there. There's a myriad of Cultaholic things going on here. There was 2 signs for me. Maybe my initials are RWT, Ross William Twaddell. Therefore, I'm claiming that one there. And there was also one that said the end is nigh. And I say that sometimes, so...
What she say? Say, shut up, Renee. What she say? Say, shut up, Renee.
So Renee had been working for roughly 5 minutes and 29 seconds by this point here, and already she was tripping serious balls. So we have Corey Graves telling us legitimate reasons as to why Braun Strowman want to keep the Raw Tag Team titles along with Seth Rollins, but also win the Universal Championship from the Master. Despite hearing, presumably, all the things that Corey Graves just said, Renee then piped up and said where the hell's it gone? One way or the other, somebody's going to double cross the other. Is that what you're saying, Corey? Oh. Corey could not have put it any better when he then replied to Renee, that is literally the opposite of what I just said. Tonight is going to be a long night. I'd be feeling the same, Corey. To get here tonight, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode have achieved something nobody has achieved in WWE ever. They won the longest tag team turmoil match in WWE history, said Michael Cole. Well, that's got to be bollocks, isn't it? Because that tag team turmoil match that took place on Raw a few weeks ago now was not the first in company history. So somewhere down the line, a team did win what was previously the longest tag team turmoil match in WWE history before the most recent one came along and took its perch. Stop rewriting history, Maggle. You don't think he's thinking, hey, if Seth gets a little dinged up here tonight, it's going to make it easier for me for the Universal titles. Title, Michael, singular. So next up we have the moment where Braun Strowman claimed that Seth Rollins, after losing that Raw Tag Team Championship match at Clash of Champions, is on a losing streak. This, of course, is the same Braun Strowman who teamed up with Seth Rollins for 3 consecutive victories before Clash of Champions, and the same Seth Rollins who had won every single singles match he had had since losing the Universal Championship to Brock Lesnar at Extreme Rules. A streak needs to be more than one, Braun. That NXT ad was weird, wasn't it? It's there asking if we want no BS while it's being aired during a show which, you know, between the lines, is claiming has a lot of BS in it. So if these people want no BS, why would they be watching this show with all of the BS to see the advert promoting the show with no BS? And why are you saying that one show has no BS, but the other shows, same company, has lots of BS?
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Tonight, Horseman Country becomes the Queendom, said Corey Graves. What do you mean, Corey? You mean the place where the kings bow down? Love me, love me, love me. Aye, but Corey, it only does that if you want to be slapped upside the head by a pair of ladyballs, because you, right there, are making her look weak on a show where women that she gave birth to are wrestling in a division that she imagined from her own genius mind in a ring that she built with her own two hands. Ask Tom Phillips what it's like to be slapped upside the head by a pair of ladyballs. The poor bugger. I don't get it. WTF?
Yep, I wrong. Yep, I wrong.
So next up we have Byron Saxton telling us how Charlotte Flair thought that she didn't have to beat Bayley, but Bayley had to beat her. And that's despite the fact Charlotte did have to beat her, because champion's advantage is a thing in the wrestling. Byron then tried to cover up this nonsense by saying that's how little Charlotte Flair thinks of Bayley as SmackDown Live Women's Champion, even though Byron proved by saying that Charlotte Flair seemingly doesn't understand how championships are won in WWE, and that's really weird, because she's won 9. Ah, bollocks.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Direct quote from Corey Graves, who said, well, it's obvious the Revival could see something we couldn't, as they were able to exploit the injured knee of Xavier Woods. The Revival were able to see something we couldn't. I can see it, can you? You can't you? Bollocks. Scott, can you hear that? No more stupid trombones or stupid hip swivels, Dash Wilder said. You can hear hip swivels, can you, Dash Wilder? It's not as if The Undertaker and Kane, God bless the pair of big bastards, are out there swiveling their hips with the thick replacement metal things. That's disrespectful. WWE, you can shove your playing of one tag team member's theme, then the second tag team member's theme, then back to the first, and then the second again. You can shove that palaver right up your arsehole. They're lazy and they're crap, even when it's Edge and Randy Orton from back in the day, which kind of worked in a weird way. Just do something original, something like this. Yeah. She is the fire, she is desire, believe when I say that's Sonya and Mandy. Dun 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 dun. Now, Kevin, I let you off for the lack of punctuation in the show's opening package when you were asking questions with no question marks. You're a madman. But to do it for a second time in the same show, I cannot let that slide. Think about the future generations who are learning their grammatical prowess throughout the WWE. WWE is educational, is what I'm saying, Kevin Dunn. So stop telling them the wrong things.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
So Corey Graves is calling Nikki Cross ugly and other things like that before he said the following. I feel like Dave Chappelle right now. There is literally nothing I can't say that won't result in Twitter outrage. You know when you have to explain the joke? Aye. But then Carmella appeared and Corey Graves was like, oh great, another woman to get me in trouble. And then Michael Cole was speaking about a horde of superstars chasing Carmella and R-Truth. And Corey Graves said to that, what did you call her? He brought it back round, did Corey? Well done. Where's Nikki going? Screamed Michael Cole when a normal pitch would have done just nicely. I'll tell you where she's going, Michael. Nikki is going back to her tag team corner so she can hold the tag team rope and make a legal tag to her tag team partner and fellow WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, Alexa Bliss. Where else is she meant to go, Michael? Tell me where, you boss-eating surrender monkey. That sounded awful, didn't it? Do I want to know what banked means in that situation? Because I don't think I do. The referee being murdered. The setup to that happening. What a load of bollocks. Sasha Banks knows she's in a normal singles match for the Raw Women's Championship. She knows that if she uses a steel chair, she will get disqualified. So why, when the referee stops her from getting disqualified, was she like, oh hell nah, what are you doing, pal? The referee saved her ass, yet there she was moaning once again, and I thought the heels were supposed to be the clever ones in WWE. Unless, of course, Sasha didn't want the Raw Women's Championship and she wanted to bury it, just like she did with the Women's Tag Team titles. You belt barrier. Pervert. So we had the brawl around the arena. Becky and Sasha got back to the ring, and then the commentators were being told that Becky had been disqualified by a referee who had been murdered and couldn't disqualify anybody because he had been murdered. And it finally looks like WWE are catching up with the rest of sport. Football, the soccer in particular, because it appears they are using VAR. VAR, ruining WWE, just like it is with the Premier League. Now, I don't want to sound like Jim Cornette or anything like that, but I remember the day when professional wrestling matches were refereed by the referee. The referee's discretion was the only variable in terms of how the matches were called, and that was fine by me. If that referee was KO'd by Becky Lynch's chair shot, then who the hell made the call to disqualify Becky Lynch when that zebra man was dead? And why weren't us fans told who made that call? Why do we have to fill in the blanks so much these days when it comes to WWE and their storytelling, in the words of Becky Lynch and her forefathers, or her five fathers? What a load of bollocks. At WrestleMania 17, we saw Mike Chioda die a horrible death during that match between The Undertaker and Triple H. Mike Chioda's spirit left his body. Mike Chioda's spirit rised to the heavens above, where it was greeted by Vince McMahon at the pearly gates, because of course Vince McMahon defeated God in a wrestling match 5 or so years later, so therefore he knocked him off his perch. This is all making complete sense, isn't it? Vince then said to Mike at the pearly gates, "You're required to referee that match, so get back down there." So back down Mike went, and he finished officiating the match a full 40 minutes after initially dying. The same presumably happened to referee Dan Engler at Clash of Champions 8 days ago, because he was down for a full 7 minutes and 23 seconds before Becky Lynch's little championship celebration thing went off the air. And what's worse is the fact that referee Dan was murdered, died dead in the middle of the ring by a chair shot that looked like it hurt no more than walking into a closed door. We've all done it. Boom. It kind of hurt, but not really. Dan, I'm still champion. I'm still a champion. Oh, swearing. You're hard. Stop killing alligators to make Gatorade. That sign says there. And in a similar vein, stop killing the members of Oasis to make Oasis. Wholesome messages all round. Now, I don't know about you, but I would not have liked to have been Greg Hamilton after Clash of Champions took place. Everyone's backstage saying, "God damn it, that was good poo, pal. Well done. Good show. Jolly good show, old chap." Because when Greg's hand and Randall Berry Keith Orton's hand met, if the rumours from ages ago that I still continue to bring up for some reason are to be believed, Greg's hand would have been covered in all kinds of cock juice. Just look at Randy's face there. How dare Greg Hamilton announce him at £250 when it's obvious? It couldn't be more obvious that Randy Orton weighs a full 255. And imagine being offended at somebody saying you're lighter than you actually are. You can call me 12 stone all you like. I'm only 13. Shades of John Cena and more recently Bayley and Becky Lynch as Randall Keith Orton shouts right into the face of Kofi Kingston, drop kick, mere seconds before Kofi Kingston hops up to the middle rope and hits a Dropperton Kickerton. And it's a wonder, isn't it? The names I've mentioned there have proven time and time and time again they can predict the future, yet when the future happens, they still can't get out of the way, more than often. Weird, isn't it? Ah, fiddlesticks. Imagine the awkward situation millions of parents around the world were put into when their young kid asked them, what does fiddlesticks mean? Because WWE superstar and role model Randy Orton said fiddlesticks. Wink, live on the air. And I've just realised it's a bit ironic that I chose the word fiddlesticks to use for Randy Orton here, because if the rumours from ages ago are to be believed, he fiddles dicks. His own dick, not other people's. I can't remember exactly how heavy those steps weighed, but many years ago on Raw, Michael Cole told us that those steps there weighed somewhere in the region of £1,000 or something like that. I can't remember. Put me right in the comments below. But there we have Eric Rowan picking them up. Now, I have no idea what that means there, but Luke Harper coming back meant I kept me Cultaholic Heavyweight Championship, and Tom Campbell didn't get to take this prestigious thing around the world on holiday, using it like a cheap prop, letting strangers touch it. And look at all the damage on there. Disgusting behaviour from Tom. Boo that man. But Luke Harper returned with his hair like Yokozuna and wearing baggy trousers like Eric Rowan and what I thought was a Rock t-shirt like Eric Rowan. But it's weird for Eric Rowan that Luke Harper would return because for ages now Eric Rowan's been all eyes on me, my poo is banging. But now Harper's back and he's in a tag team, and we all know that Luke Harper will overshadow Eric Rowan because Luke Harper it's just a lot better than Eric Rowan. Now, I'm not making Seth Rollins' pedigree on Braun Strowman at WTF Moment because for me, it was great storytelling. Seth threw everything at Braun. He used everything in his arsenal. Nothing was working, so he had to resort to something that he's not used for a very long time. It was desperation. It was quick thinking. I liked it. But Braun lost again. That's now seven shots at the Universal Championship he's had, and 7 matches where he didn't win the Universal Championship. WWE are telling us that Braun Strowman, the monster among memes, yes, he was a meme for a long time, is a choker. Huh? Had a dream, I. I don't know about you, but right now I want an album of Seth Rollins singing professional wrestlers' themes. Just imagine that. Now we end with something to ponder because we learned at Clash of Champions and on the Raw after Clash of Champions that there is some sick, dark, disturbed pervert working for WWE today because the visuals they are producing for The Fiend, they're bloody saucy, aren't they? Unbelievable scenes. Just how does somebody come up with those visuals in their head without being a bit of a wrong'un? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you do. But that is it for all of your Clash of Champions WTF moments. I have been Ross Waddell from Cultaholic.com, still your Cultaholic Heavyweight Champion. This has been the Todd thing. I'm just a gimmick now. Just a gimmick from start to finish, but that's it, bye. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. And if you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe and join us.